Mount Waverley.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. And I rise to also put my contribution to the Industrial Relations Amendment Bill 2021. And I thank the Treasurer in his capacity as the Minister for Industrial Relations for bringing this bill before us, because it does go to our constant effort to protect the rights and the ability of every worker to just get treated fairly. It's a fairly simple concept, but something that we continue to work on. And this bill, although rather technical in nature, definitely contributes to that. This year, obviously the pandemic over the last 12 months has shone a bright light, as my colleagues have stated, on some of the cracks in our industrial relations frameworks. Just the fact that more so often insecure work, especially over the last 12 months, gives people rise to make choices about whether they will potentially turn up to work sick in order to put food on the table, or potentially stay home and benefit others. And that's a very difficult choice for a lot of Victorians. And this government, however, we continue to lead the way in developing initiatives to protect workers. This bill allows us to continue to grow and strengthen our industrial sector, supporting a strong economic recovery that we are in the beginnings of, but I think the signs early on are very good. And it just shows the strength and the dedication from the Premier and the whole government. Now, our jobs plan, which is announced in 2021, does show just that, and ensuring not only a job but certainty and security for Victorians and families. And we're talking about labour hire in this bill and strengthening some of the protections for workers, but I just want to add in my own experiences from labour hire, and over the years I've had experiences on both sides of that equation. Early in my career in IT, I did a lot of contract work, and so you would go from personnel companies, labour hire companies, effectively 3 months here, 3 months there, and that's the way I wanted to do it. And for me, it was a way of doing a bit of that, doing a bit of music. Thought I was going to be a rock star. Obviously, that didn't work out. Probably a good thing for everyone. But it was good work, and for me, it was okay. I could get the work. That's good. And those opportunities are still available. And when I was running my own business, I had rise for limited time projects, that you would get a project, we'd have a project with a client, it'd be a 3-month or a 6-month project, you have a bit of work, and given the nature of a very small IT firm, you would find someone to fill that gap, you would use them for as long as you could, and you'd pay them the appropriate rates and give them work, and everyone wins. At least that was the plan. Now, me and my business partner made the decision over the last number of years, when we needed to use contracted labour or labour hire, we tried to get some graduates who otherwise hadn't got a leg up. Now, over the last couple of years, we used, before I was here obviously, I think there was 2 particular workers came to mind that we employed. Now, both of these guys had been out of work since uni for about 12 to 18 months, just couldn't get that first foot in the door. They worked with us for about 3 to 6 months on different occasions. Both of them got a job. So labour hire can work for people, but obviously both of these young people wanted secure work. They wanted permanent work. It should be a no-brainer. Now, a bill like this strengthening protections for labour hire is very timely in the year where insecure work has had that shining light on it. And I note also today's news that there has been a decision with Hungry Panda, one of the gig tech companies, have agreed, well, I should say 2 drivers who took it to Hungry Panda have won their jobs back after being treated unfairly and struck a deal with the company. So, I mean, that's good news that we have gig tech companies coming to the party, but it's only a start. And what concerns me, and I'll give you a hypothetical. Obviously, with a tech background, I can imagine the uses of the internet. And we all know Uber and other companies who provide mostly transport at this time. And I look, just on the Hungry Panda thing, a big shout out to TW Australia, Michael Kane and the team there, and also TW Victoria and John Berger and his whole team, doing a lot of work for our drivers. But I also want to say to everyone else in every other industry, if you can get accreditation for your work, whether that be a Certificate 3, a diploma, it might be an in-house skills, if you can get something that ticks you, says, yes, you're accredited for this. Now, we already know labour hire companies now will shuffle people in and out. Security, hospitality, a whole heap of industries. And I think with the work that this government's done, we're trying to rein that in so that the dodgy operators are prevented from doing that. And that work will continue, I have no doubts. But think of it this way. The gig tech companies currently take a driver and make them an entrepreneur, and some of them might do well, but some of them don't. And there's a lack of protection there. So just ask you to consider, what if the next Uber or Deliveroo or whatever they are, what if the next one is shop assistants at supermarkets? What if the next one is nurses? What if the next one is waiters, waiting staff, security guards? I would say to the labour hire companies, especially the good ones, and I've dealt with good ones, they are out there and they're probably the majority. I would say to them, be aware, be on our side. If we protect workers and we make this industry work, and it's a win-win all round, then this is a good thing. Because if we let this go rampant, and I am concerned about the federal IR laws that are being debated at the moment, if we let this go rampant, it won't just be logistics and transport where everyone is turned into an entrepreneur, it'll be everyone else. And the middle people will be taken out of it because the big tech, the big corporations can make more money that way. Now, I've got no problem with people making money. I'm all for businesses being profitable. But we've got to add to society. Businesses have to have that social construct, that social agreement with all of us. We all have a duty. That's employees, employers, big corporate, small business. We all have a duty to add to our society. And I'm concerned, and I don't think I'm alone, with the way our gig economy is being exploited. Now, as I said, back in the day, lots of people in the creative industries, and back then, still now, are used to gigs, are used to turning up and you get a little bit of money, you don't know where the next job's going. And for a lot of the fact, creative people just accept it. Now we're seeing transport is another industry where that is at the danger of being accepted. I commend the work that the TW are doing to prevent that from happening. I commend the work that this government and the Treasurer are doing to prevent that from happening. And I will stand with them, as I know all of my colleagues on this side will, to protect every worker in this state. And that's why I commend this bill to the House.